Hello! This is Lou Dolphin once again here for Sentinels of the Multiverse weekly one-shot. This one is The Ghost of Giftmas Past. Hey! It's me again! You know me, your friendly neighborhood Guise. Now I know old Gloomy ain't really a ghost, but he's the closest thing we've got. Gramps over there is in the running too. I've seen that card! Now listen up. In order to unlock, wink wink, the true meaning of Giftmas, you've got to make sure the children get lots of presents. Spoil them silly. Make sure to play my cards too, because I'm the best. And of course this is a hint. Would I lead you astray? Don't hurt my feelings. Included in the information on the expansions needed for this. But this is Gloomweaver against the Argent Adept, America's finest legacy, also known as Grandpa Legacy, and Guise in, you can't really tell, but it's Tomb of the Anubis, I think. Like, Gloomweaver is just so massive. She takes over the entire page, but I see parts of the pyramid or Egyptian thing or whatever that is. So, it's not advanced. And allegedly this is a hint of some sort. I'm guessing it's Santa Guise, since that's really the only thing that they could hint at this point. That's the only unlock that, as of this video, has yet to be discovered. The Omnitron U unlock was recently discovered in the past week or so, but Santa Guise has yet to be discovered. I've already unlocked him though, because well, I'm not going to get into it, but hopefully this will help people figure out how to unlock him. So without further ado, new game. Yep, it is Tomb of Anubis. All this delicious despair. I can almost taste it. Let me in, mortals. If we work in concert, we will generate the harmonies of victory. Or maybe he sings that line. If we work in concert, we will generate the harmonies of victory. Okay, no, I can't sing. I know, I'm sorry. I tried. I apologize. Alright, so Argent Adept. Oops. His base power, activate a perform text. And we do have some songs in hand. We have the counterpoint Bulwark. Perform, select up to 2 targets. Until the start of your next turn, reduce damage dealt to those targets by 1. Accompany. 1 player may draw 1 card now. We have Rhapsody of Vigor. Perform. Up to 5 targets regain 1 HP each. We have Teleman's Lyra, which is a power to activate the perform text of a harmony card and the accompany text of a rhythm card. And Vernal Sonata. Each hero target regains 1 HP. Each player may take 1 card other than Vernal Sonata from their trash and put it on top of their deck. America's, sorry, not finest. Well, I guess finest is the base one. America's greatest legacy. I apologize. I always just think of these as legacy, young legacy, old legacy. I was trying to be fancy and call them by title, and I called them by the wrong title. But this is Grandpa Legacy. His base power, 1 hero regains 1 HP and may use a power now. He has a Flying Smash. Legacy deals up to 3 targets 3 melee damage each. Fortitude, reduce damage dealt to Legacy by 1. Next Evolution is a power. Legacy is immune to the damage type of your choice until the start of your next turn. And Superhuman Durability, whenever Legacy would be dealt 5 or more damage from a single source, reduce that damage by 3. And then Guise. You were expecting someone else? His base power is draw a card or play a card. How to choose? Also, Guise deals 1 target 1 melee damage, but who? He starts with the best card ever. Draw 2 cards! Guise deals 1 target 2 melee damage. Guise regains 1 HP. If you throw your hands in the air and yell, woo, you may play a card. Say cheese. Guise deals 1 target 1 cold damage. Then if that target is still in play and has 5 or fewer HP, you may play 1 card. Or Super Ultra Kawaii. I'm not just a hero, I'm a magical love prince. At the end of each hero turn, if you have more than 3 cards in your hand, you may play a card. At the start of your turn, destroy this card. And where did I leave that? Draw 2 cards. Did you get what you're looking for? If so, good. If not, you may discard the 2 cards just drew to put a card from your trash in your hand. Okay. So, Gloomweaver. Enters play at the start of the game. 3 zombie cards are put into play, and the villain deck is shuffled. On this side, at the start of the villain turn, if 3 villain relics are in play, Gloomweaver flips. On the other hand, at the start of the villain turn, if 3 villain relics are in the villain trash, the heroes win. And whenever a cultist is destroyed, a zombie card is put into play from the villain trash. So, other than the checks on the villain relics, Gloomweaver doesn't act by himself. His only other thing is a reaction to cultists being destroyed. Now, if you've not faced Gloomweaver previously, if you have not faced Gloomweaver yet, typically you don't really see the 3 relics. You typically win before all 3 come out. But they all have 25 HP. So they are somewhat hard to destroy. Like the Drum of Despair has 25 HP. I'll describe these in particular if they come out, but the Grimoire of Curses also has 25 HP, and the Pouch of Bones has 25 HP. So in total, that's 75 HP across the 3 targets, whereas Gloomweaver has 90 HP, so it's sort of like a crapshoot whether you even want to bother taking out the relics versus just wailing on Gloomweaver. 90 HP is on the higher end of villain HPs, but Gloomweaver is not really too hard. He is a difficulty 3 villain, but in my experience, he is on the lower end of what I'd call 2. I would actually consider Omnitron more difficult than him. Although, if he does get set up, he can be devastating, but I guess that goes for any villain. Alright, so, without further ado, let us start the game. So, 3 zombies are put into play. Each zombie has the same text. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the non-villain target with the highest HP 1 melee damage. So, 3 of these come out. Now we're on Gloomweaver's turn, and he plays another zombie. So we have 4 of these. And 3 of these are gonna hit Legacy. And then the 4th one, we have a choice, and I'm gonna throw it on Guise since he's at max HP. I typically if I have a choice here, I typically go for the hero who has the highest percentage of HP, just to make things a little bit more even on the percentage end. Alright. So, only 4 zombies in play. And we do have a Flying Smash that deals up to 3 targets, 3 melee, so it could take out 2 of the zombies and hit Gloomweaver if we so want to. The best card ever could also deal 2 melee. Say Cheese would do 1... That's a few cards to play. We could get rid of the zombies all in one fell swoop, I think. So it's just a question of what we want Argent Adept to do. So we have 2 songs and we have 1 instrument, as well as Vernal Sonata. And it's pretty early to play Vernal Sonata. You could play this card just for HP recovery, but I like to save this in order to get special cards from each hero trash back on top of their decks. For instance, we could use this to get best card ever back on top of Guise's deck, which would be nice. So we probably don't want to play that right now. Also, the HP recovery aspect, Argent Adept's at max HP. It would restore 1 HP to Legacy and Guise, but I would rather proceed. And if I was more interested in having heroes regain HP, I might play Rhapsody of Vigor, and then I can use my base power to have up to 5 targets regain 1 HP. But the card that synergizes, or rather 2 of the cards that synergize with each other are Counterpoint Bulwark and Telemann's Lyra. Counterpoint Bulwark is a rhythm. And Telemann's Lyra activates the perform of a harmony and the accompany of a rhythm. And the accompany of this rhythm is 1 player may draw 1 card now. And that could be nice. It can help us get more things to play. Guise always likes having lots of cards. Argent Adept prefers to have like options for setup, and Legacy probably, I mean, he has a lot of cards that let him draw more cards, but he does have a good starting hand. So I might get out that Counterpoint Bulwark so that we have a song out, and then the next turn I could play the Lyra and use it to have a player draw a card. The base power, or sorry, the perform text of this, which we can activate via Argent Adept's base power, we can have 2 heroes, or it says up to 2 targets, so it could be villain targets if we wanted to. Which I laugh, but there are situations where you do want villain targets to stay in play. The most obvious example of which is the Dreamer. You don't want the Dreamer to die, and so you could reduce damage dealt to the Dreamer. Another quote-unquote obvious example is Heroic Infinitor. If you don't want him to flip, you can reduce damage dealt to him so he doesn't get hit as hard. And then maybe there are a few villain targets that are actually beneficial to the heroes, but in this game, there's not anything currently. So we could have two heroes have damage reduction, and actually, with the damage reduction, I don't have to worry about the zombie servants as much because they're dealing 1 melee damage currently. And if I have the highest HP hero have damage reduction, then the zombies will just ping off of him, and nothing will happen. There is one card that will screw with that plan. That card is Strength of the Grave. Increase damage dealt by zombies by X, for X is the number of zombies in play. So if that card enters play and there are 4 zombies in play, then all of a sudden those 4 zombies have damage dealt +4, and instead of dealing 1 melee, they each deal 5 melee, and so the Counterpoint Bulwark plan wouldn't work out. But I think chaining Counterpoint Bulwark with Telenon's Lyra will work the best. So we'll put the Counterpoint Bulwark in play, and then we'll use it to reduce damage dealt to several targets. My general play strategy, if you haven't really figured it out in these past however many videos, I like to just get set up. Like, I like to play equipments and ongoings in my first plays rather than one-shots. I would only play one-shots if I already feel like I'm sufficiently developed. And like, I would want Legacy to probably play Fortitude out of these 4 cards, because Flying Smash would take out 3 of the zombies, but as I said, unless Strength of the Grave comes out, which there's only a 1 in 21 chance of that happening, I don't really have to worry about the zombies too much. I would prefer to save the Flying Smash for things that have more than 2 HP. I'd rather get the Fortitude out, because then it will reduce damage dealt to Legacy by 1 permanently until this card, for whatever reason, disappears. Next Evolution can be nice. I mean, if I play that instead of playing Fortitude, and I use this power instead of his base power, or I use his base power on Legacy himself to use this power, then I can make Legacy immune to melee damage, and then it doesn't matter if Strength of the Grave comes out, because Legacy will be immune to melee damage anyway. Superhuman durability is... it's situational. It is a massive damage reduction, but it requires there to be massive damage being dealt, which actually, with Strength of the Grave, he would be dealt 5 or more, which would be interesting. But if I'm going to play Fortitude, which I want to do, then I'm going to have Argent, Adept, and Guise both have damage reduction by 1, just so it's balanced across the board. I could put it on Legacy, and then with Fortitude, he'd have damage taken -2. But I think we'll just stick with that one, what we just did. And Argent Adept draws an Akpunku's Drum. It's another instrument. It has a power. Activate the accompany text of a rhythm card and the perform text of a melody card. So, unlike the Lyra, this one synergizes with both of the songs I have. So if I put this out on my next turn and then the Rhapsody of Vigor out on my 3rd turn, I could then use this power and I could have a player draw a card and have up to 5 targets regain 1 HP. I like the Lyra a little bit better though, for reasons that we might see in this game. But I'm going to put the Fortitude out. And now Legacy's base power. 1 hero regains 1 HP and may use a power now. So we have a choice between each of these 3 heroes. If I put this on Legacy, he will regain 1 HP, but he doesn't have any other power. If you've not played this game before, there are a lot of things that you're going to be confused about, but one of the things to remember is that each power may be used only once per turn. And we've already used Gung Ho this turn. We're in the process of using Gung Ho, but if I use Gung Ho to have Legacy use a power, I can't have Gung Ho be used a second time. I can't just keep chaining Gung Ho on Legacy for him to permanently regain 1 HP until he maxes. That would not be fair. So, unless I want Legacy to regain an HP, there's no point in choosing Legacy. If I select Argent Adept, I could provide another instance of damage reduction. So 2 heroes would have damage taken -2, and the 3rd one would have damage taken -1. That's not as useful as Guise's, because Guise's base power, Tough Choices, could let him draw a card or play a card, and then deal 1 target 1 melee damage. And we have the best card ever, which lets him draw 2 cards, which is better than drawing 1 card, because he draws 2 cards, and then he can deal damage, and then he regains an HP on top of the HP recovery from Gung Ho, although he's only 1 off from max. And then he could play an additional card if he wanted to. So I think we'll have Guise use a power. We'll use Tough Choices. Lets us draw a card or play a card. So we shall play Best Card Ever. So now he gets to draw 2 cards. The 2 cards we have are Selling Out. Gotta have all the best swag. At the end of the environment turn, you may discard 1 card. You may play up to 3 cards that share a keyword with the discarded card. At the start of your turn, destroy this card. And let me see that. Play this card next to an equipment card. That card affects Guise, as if the hero name on that card were Guise, and you on that card means Guise as player. At the start of your turn, play air guitar and destroy this card. So, currently the zombie servants aren't doing anything, so I'm gonna hit mash on Gloomweaver. Guise is already at max, and then if I throw my hands in the air and yell woo, I may play a card. Don't necessarily know that I want to play a card, but I might just have the option. Now, where did I leave that? It says draw 2 cards. Did I get what I was looking for? If so, good. If not, I could discard those 2 cards to put a card from my trash in my hand. Now, some people typically, when they play a card such as Best Card Ever, and it's like, alright, you may play a card. So then now they put Best Card Ever in the trash and then they play another card. That's a no-no. Best Card Ever hasn't been fully resolved. We're still trying to figure out what card to play. So Best Card Ever is still in play. There is no card in my trash. So if I play Where Did I Leave That to try to get Best Card Ever back, it's not going to work because it's not in my trash. So I probably don't want to use that. I like to, Where Did I Leave That is a good source of drawing cards. It draws you 2 cards. But I also like to use it to get Best Card Ever back in Guise's hand. Among other things, there are lots of cards that Guise would like to have. It's a nice way to get any card from his trash in your hand. I mean, like, in particular, cards that let you put cards from your trash in your hand are good cards, because then you can get back the awesome one-shots, or the ongoings that were destroyed, or etc. And I would like to save Where Did I Leave That for that purpose. So I don't want to use that. Super Ultra Kawaii and Selling Out both have the clause, at the start of your turn, destroy this card, and so they're not worth playing. I mean, technically Super Ultra Kawaii would have a use, because then at the end of Legacy's turn I could play a card, since I would have more than 3 cards in my hand. But why would I do that when I could just play the card I would want to play anyway? And then Say Cheese, I could deal 1 target 1 cold, and if that target is still in play and has 5 or fewer, I could play an additional card. The only targets that would have 5 or fewer after being dealt damage would be the zombies. I could use it as a single source of 1 damage, but And then let me see that. There are no equipment cards in play, so this has no purpose, as well as the fact that it has the clause, start of your turn, destroy this card. So I think we're not actually going to play a card. But I can still do 1 damage. We'll go ahead and hit Gloomweaver with that. And Legacy has now drawn another next evolution. Okay, so now we're at we have the same cards as previously. But unlike the situation we were just in, where I said I couldn't play Where Did I Leave That because Best Card Ever isn't in my trash, well, now it's in my trash, because we did resolve the full text of Best Card Ever. We chose not to play a card, but we had the potential of playing a card. We chose to skip it, and so this card was over, put in the trash. But now I could play Where Did I Leave That to potentially get it back, or get 2 awesome cards. So let's play Where Did I Leave That. We draw an, oh yeah, I'm that guy. When this card enters play, give another player a high 5. If you do, treat this card as if it had the game text of every ongoing card in that player's play area, replacing their hero's name with Guise, and you on that card means Guise as player. At the start of your turn, destroy this card. And the Recon. Destroy 1 ongoing or environment card. Awesome! I'm a great hero! You may draw a card or play a card. So, those are both good cards. Currently we lack any source of ongoing or environment destruction, although there's only 1 ongoing card in Gloomweaver's deck. namely the strength of the grave card we previously mentioned, but there are 15 environment cards, and we might want to destroy them if a bad one comes into play, so we might want to keep Recon. And, oh yeah, I'm that guy is actually a really good card. This is spoofing off of Legacy. Because Legacy is actually one of the, better heroes to use Oh Yeah, I'm that guy on, because a lot of Legacy's deck is composed of ongoing cards, and if we copy them, they duplicate. So, if I have an ongoing card that says increased damage dealt by hero targets by 1, and then I play Oh Yeah, I'm that guy on Legacy, then we get another instance of increased damage dealt by hero targets by 1. So, yeah, I like this card. And Recon's also a good card, so I played that in order to get best card ever back, but I like those two cards better, so I did get what I was looking for. And if worst comes to worst, I could always use Vernal Sonata to get that best card ever back. Alright, so base power, draw a card, or play a card. So is there a card here we would like to play? Super Ultra Kawaii would let me play a lot of cards, actually 3 more cards, 2 of which would be out of Guise's turn. But we don't really have cards we would want to use that on. Oh yeah, I'm that guy. It would currently only be useful to copy the Song, which isn't useful actually, or the Fortitude, which would reduce damage dealt to Guise by 1, but not super useful or exciting right now. Selling out, I don't have 3 cards I would like to play. Say Cheese, we're in the same situation as previously. Retcon, there's nothing to destroy. We'd have to destroy an ongoing or environment card, and there are currently 2 ongoing cards that we both like. Both of which we like. And then let me see that there's no equipments in play. So I'm not particularly excited with all of those, so I'm gonna draw a card for more options. I can do that too! Guise uses a power printed on an active hero character card in play. If that power has the name of a hero in it, treat that name as if it were Guise instead, and you on that card means Guise's player. Yeah. Nice card. And then we'll hit Gloomweaver again. And we draw, look what I found! Guise deals 1 target 3 melee damage. Is that target still around? I should do more damage next time. If that target is still in play, increase the next damage dealt by Guise by 1. Alright. Tomb of Anubis plays Spike Trap. At the end of the environment turn, a player may destroy one of their equipment cards to destroy this card. At the start of the environment turn, deal the target with the lowest HP 3 melee damage. Guess who has the lowest HP? It's a 4-way tie between zombies. So, it's good that we chose not to destroy any zombies because the spike traps will take care of them for us. Haha. Alright, that's a cool card. Gloomweaver's turn. We have our first cultist. It's the Chosen Disciple. At the end of the villain turn, move 1 zombie card from the villain trash into play. Then, this card deals the hero target with the highest HP X melee damage, where X equals the number of zombies in play plus 2. So unfortunately, this does act on the number of zombies in play. 4 zombies in play, plus 2 is 6. So this is going to be 6 melee damage on the highest HP. But thankfully, the zombies aren't going to go off. Who's considered to have the highest? It doesn't matter. They're both tied at 0. So this is a bunch of zeros going on. But the cultist, or the Chosen Disciple, there were no zombies in the trash because we didn't destroy any, but it is going to do 6 melee damage. So remember when I said if I had played next evolution I could make Legacy immune to melee damage? Well, that would have been slightly better, I guess. But it is reduced by 1, so it's 5. And in fact, superhuman durability also would have helped with that. I'm going to put this on Guise because he has the highest percentage of HP. And furthermore, if Legacy uses Gung Ho on Guise, he'll regain 1 HP anyway. Alright, so here we are. the plan was to play an instrument so I could activate the accompany of Counterpoint Bulwark so that one player could draw a card. Alternatively, I could activate the Perform instead to have damage reduction, but I don't know that we necessarily need that. So we have if we're going to play an instrument, though. Or I could also play Rhapsody of Vigor and have heroes regain HP, but that doesn't seem super useful, especially since Argent Adept is still at max. So if I'm to play an instrument, currently Akpunku's Drum is the more useful of the two, because Telemon's Lyra activates the Perform of a Harmony, but we don't have a Harmony yet. Whereas Akpunku's Drum, there we go, it still activates the accompany of a rhythm, but it also activates the Perform of a melody, and we do have a melody in hand. So, we do have that going on. But we're still not in a situation where Rhapsody of Vigor would be fully useful. I mean, we don't know what is on the top of Argent Adept's deck. You could draw a rhythm card, or sorry, a harmony card, in which case we would like to have Telemon's Lyra chain with that. I think I'm going to put out Telemon's Lyra, because I like this instrument a lot, and hopefully we'll get to see why. So I'm going to play the Lyra. And do I prefer to have damage reduction, or would I prefer to have cards? I'm going to get cards, I think. So my default choice, or my original, my initial pick is Argent Adept, but let's take a look at the other heroes. We probably want to try to get rid of the Chosen Disciple now, because the Chosen Disciple is going to keep putting the zombie servants into play, as well as deal more damage over time. Or not over time, but deal a lot of damage. 6 melee damage currently. And there's almost always going to be a zombie servant in the trash, so it's always going to be at least 3 melee damage. So we're probably going to want to get rid of the Chosen Disciple. Alternatively, I could have Legacy play Next Evolution and make him immune to melee, and then I don't have to worry about the Chosen Disciple at all, because then the Chosen Disciple will just keep trying to hit Legacy and he's immune to melee. And then we could just focus on Gloomweaver. So yeah, that's actually probably a better plan than what I originally thought. And if I have Legacy use Gung-Ho on himself to use Next Evolution, he'll regain 1 HP, which will make him even higher in case the environment does something silly. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. So then the question is, what do we want Guise to do? And Guise does have an I can do that too, which he could use on his turn. I'm really looking to see if there are cards that I want Guise to play right now. And if there aren't, then I would have Guise draw a card, because, you know, if he doesn't have an option, then he should get an option. But if I'm not worried about the Chosen Disciple just yet, I could just use Look What I Found on Gloomweaver, and then probably draw a card with his power, so we do have 1 card play. I think, like, with Guise's base power, I like to get more cards in his hand, because then I can get him to do a lot of things in 1 turn if I chain them well. So yeah, I think, since I hope to get, a harmony with Argent Adept, I think I'm going to try to get that. I'm going to try to get that harmony. So we'll activate the Perform of a non-existent harmony, and then we'll activate the accompany to have 1 player draw a card. We'll have Argent Adept draw it, and he draws the Inspiring Super Tonic. Yes! This is the harmony I was looking for. Perform. 1 player may use a power now. This is why I put the Lyra out, because if I use this Perform to have a player use a power, then, you know, I could activate the base power of Argent Adept, which will activate any Perform text. Or I could have Legacy use a power to, you know, have 1 hero regain HP, 1 HP and use a power, or I could, you know, use it on Guise. And then we draw an Instrumental Conjuration. Search your deck for trash for an instrument card and put it into play. If you searched your deck, shuffle your deck, you may draw a card. So we can use this to get the other instrument that Argent Adept also likes to have against the Inspiring Super Tonic. Okay, things are looking pretty good for us. So again, I'm not worried about the Chosen Disciple if I put out the next evolution. We will probably reevaluate depending on, you know, certain factors, but for now, I'm more inclined to put the next evolution out and make Legacy immune to melee. So we'll do that. So this is what is called Jerk Legacy. Legacy can let any hero use a power, so he lets himself use a power because he's a jerk. But Legacy does have a lot of good powers, even like outside of his normal base power. Like his standard base power is to increase all damage dealt by hero targets by 1, which is really potent. But even like this Legacy's power is also really potent. It lets one hero regain 1 HP and use a power for free. But his powers on his other cards are also potent, like being immune to a damage type of your choice. That's great. Or deal 1 target 2 melee damage and each hero target regains 1 HP. That's great. Alright, so we'll be immune to melee. And we draw a Thok. Legacy deals 1 target 3 melee damage, draw a card. Okay, so look what I found on Gloomweaver was what I was originally going for, so we'll do that. And now Guise's next damage is increased by 1. We will now draw a card, I think, because we didn't really want to play any of these right now. Like, I want to build up for Selling Out or Super Ultra Kawaii. Selling Out acts at the end of the environment turn and lets him play up to 3 cards. But I need to discard a card for that. So 1 card and then 3 cards, and typically those 3 cards you'll want to use to get even more cards out. So you really want to have lots of cards for this. And then Super Ultra Kawaii, at the end of each hero turn, if you have more than 3 cards in your hand, you may play a card. So if I really wanted to make sure that I have a card to play at the end of each hero turn, Guise needs to have 6 cards besides this card. Unless he plays cards that let him draw cards, but no, we'll just let him draw a card for now. He gets a gritty reboot. I'm hard-boiled, but not like an egg. Like a detective. Whenever Guise is dealt damage, you may draw a card. At the start of your turn, destroy this card. And then this is now 1 damage, increased by 1 because of look what I found. We'll go ahead and hit Gloomweaver. And we draw another Super Ultra Kawaii. So we have 2 of those. Spike Trap now goes off. Which target is considered to have the lowest HP? The leftmost zombie servant, obviously. And Akana. Whenever a villain target is destroyed, play the top card of the environment deck. Not that good. So I could destroy Teleman's Lyra in order to destroy the Spike Trap. The Spike Trap is still only hitting villain targets, but with Akana in play, if a villain target gets destroyed, the top card of the environment deck gets played. But there is a means of bypassing that. If we destroy Akana, I don't need to worry about that. And we're gonna go ahead and do that because, you know, Tomb of Anubis might be a fun environment. In fact, it is a fun environment. But, you know, letting the environment play cards willy-nilly is bad, especially since there are currently 4 villain targets, soon to be 5 villain targets, maybe even 6, coming into play. So we're not going to bother destroying this card because I have other means of destroying Akana. Or of destroying Akana, and I'm not worried about the Spike Trap. Pouch of Bones. Here's a relic. Reduce damage dealt to zombies by 1. Whenever a zombie enters play, each villain target regains 3 HP. So now, the cultist, the Chosen Disciple, is now a bad one, because now she's going to pull a zombie from the trash. And now this has entered play, so now Gloomweaver regains 3 HP. So we probably do want to deal with Chosen Disciple now, because zombie servants are going to continue to come into play otherwise. But no damage was dealt other than that because of Legacy's immunity to melee. So since, you know, we're probably going to try to get rid of the Chosen Disciple, I don't need to worry about melee immunity anymore. And if I'm going to destroy the Chosen Disciple, I need to make sure I destroy Akana first, because Akana is going to play an environment card if the Chosen Disciple leaves play. Now, as I said at the start, there are 3 relics. Each of them have 25 HP. The Pouch of Bones has 25 HP. It's providing damage reduction to zombies. And it also has villain targets regain 3 HP whenever a zombie enters play. Now, the damage resistance to zombies doesn't matter with the Spike Trap. The Spike Trap deals 3 melee, but 3 minus 1 is still 2, so it will still take out a zombie servant. It's the HP recovery that's a little bit more annoying. But zombies will only enter play if the Chosen Disciple plays it, or if a cultist is destroyed. And if a cultist gets destroyed, it only puts a zombie into play if there's a zombie in the trash. So if we keep all the zombie servants out, you know, they're not going to do anything. Or zombies won't be entering play if all the zombies are already in play, and they're still not doing anything. They're still going to be targeting Legacy, who has damage taken -1 at least, still, for the time being. So, Pouch of Bones can be troublesome, but we'll probably find a means of dealing with it. Now, the only consistent means of dealing damage, or the only hero who has consistent damage dealing is Guise. His base power deals 1 target, 1 melee damage. How can I do this? How can I use this to do 7 damage to Akana? Well, we do know Spike Trap is going to deal the target with the lowest 3 melee. So if I make the Chosen Disciple have the lowest, which means have the Chosen Disciple have either 1 or 2 HP, then the Spike Trap will take out the Chosen Disciple. Now, how am I going to deal with Akana in addition to the Chosen Disciple? I have an answer right here. Retcon. Destroy 1 ongoing or environment card. Akana is an environment card, so we can destroy her via retcon. So we do have that. But we still have to deal 5 damage to the Chosen Disciple in order for the Spike Trap to go after it. But we do have damage dealers via Legacy. Legacy has a Flying Smash that can deal up to 3 targets, 3 melee, so this can hit Gloomweaver, and it can hit the Chosen Disciple. We don't need to hit Akana, we don't need to hit a zombie with it. We can also use Thok to deal 3 melee, but this won't hit Gloomweaver unless I hit Gloomweaver, and that defeats the purpose. So that's 3 damage there, and Guise's base power is 1 that we know we're going to be using. But if I play the Inspiring Super Tonic, 1 hero will get to use a power. That hero will probably going to, and well, that hero is almost certainly going to be Legacy, whose base powers then have 1 hero regain 1 HP and use a power. So then Guise could regain an HP. That's better than just having Guise use a power. And Guise's power can be used to draw more cards. Still not really much of a need to play cards for the time being. So yeah. Inspiring Super Tonic, and now Telemon's Lyra will activate the Perform of Inspiring Super Tonic, so 1 player may use a power. That hero is Legacy. He will use Gung Ho to have 1 hero regain 1 HP, that shall be Guise, and he can use a power. His power shall be to, I think, draw a card is the better option. We get Guise the Barbarian. Here's one of the cards I'm looking for. I am mighty and fearsome like the fabled alpaca! Increase damage dealt by Guise by 2. At the start of your turn, destroy this card. But now I can do 1 damage on the Chosen Disciple. And now I have the Company of a Rhythm, so 1 player may draw a card. Now, Argent Adept, I already know what his next card play is going to be. Legacy, we already know what his next card play is going to be. Guise wants more cards. So we'll have Guise draw a card, he plays another, oh yeah, I'm that guy. And now Argent Adept draws another Counterpoint Bulwark. Alright. So now if I use Flying Smash on the Chosen Disciple, that will do 3 damage to it. And then Guise's base power would then do 1, that would take the Chosen Disciple down to 2. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I think. Yeah. Flying Smash. We'll hit the Chosen Disciple. We'll hit Gloomweaver. And I said there wasn't any other villain or any other target, but I might as well hit the Pouch of Bones, because if I can get the Pouch of Bones out of play, you know, then it's out of play. I said I don't really want to worry about the relics too much, but if there are 3 villain relics in play, Gloomweaver will flip, so that is something to be worried about. Now, Gloomweaver's flip side. I don't typically see the flip side, but when flipped to the side, Gloomweaver regains 30 HP, so... Wow, his max HP is 81 on that side? Oh no, he currently has 81, never mind. I was confused by that. His max HP is 90, he currently has 81. When flipped to the side, Gloomweaver regains 30 HP. Whenever a cultist is destroyed, a zombie card from the villain trash is put into play, so same as before. But now, at the end of the villain turn, Gloomweaver deals X toxic damage to the 2 hero targets with the highest HP, where X equals the number of voodoo pins in play plus 2. We haven't seen a voodoo pin yet, but this will be consistent damage dealing. Gloomweaver will always be dealing at least 2 toxic damage to the 2 heroes with the highest HP. So, and there's no way to flip Gloomweaver back. So, once Gloomweaver flips, he's on the side forever. It's not that problematic. But we will lose the auto-win condition, not that that fully matters, and Gloomweaver will regain HP, so blah 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 blah, we don't want Gloomweaver to flip. So I might as well hit the Pouch of Bones. And now one hero may use a power. So I don't want to be immune to melee, because unless another Chosen Disciple comes into play, I'm not worried about melee damage, because the Zombie Servants will do 0 to Legacy. So one hero can regain 1 HP and use a power. And I could give that to Guise, and Guise would regain 1 HP. But if I give this to the Argent Adept, even though he won't regain an HP, he's still at max at 24, you could still have Guise use a power, and then one player may draw a card. So either Guise regains an HP or Guise draws an additional card, and card draws are a little bit more important for Guise. So we'll have Argent Adept use a power. We will use Teleman's Lyra to activate the perform of a harmony. One player may use a power now. So Guise can use the power. He will draw a card or play a card. How to choose? We will draw a card. We get another Where Did I Leave That? And then he can deal 1 melee to the Chosen Disciple. Now Chosen Disciple is tied for the lowest, so the Spike Trap can now go after the Chosen Disciple. And now one hero may draw a card. We'll have Guise draw that. Guise draws another, I can do that too. And Legacy draws another next evolution. So now, other than Thok, Legacy doesn't really have a card he would want to play. Alright. So we don't have to worry about the Chosen Disciple anymore, so we have a few choices here. Not too many damage dealers still, but we do have 2 of the 3 cards that I like to have for super setup Guise. 2 of them are Guise the Barbarian, to increase damage dealt by Guise by 2. The second one is the Super Ultra Kawaii, to let Guise play cards at the end of each hero turn. And the third, which we have yet to draw, is a Blatant Reference, which lets him deal damage at the end of each hero turn. So with those 3 together, Guise can do a lot of damage in 1 round. But we don't have all 3 yet. So I could play Where Did I Leave That? Draw 2 cards. If I get what I'm looking for, which is a Blatant Reference, then I'm good. If I get a best card ever, then I'm good. Otherwise, there are a bunch of cards that I don't necessarily want. Oh yeah, I'm that guy. Still not going to copy a lot other than, you know, reducing damage to Guise, which I'm not too worried about. Selling out, not enough cards yet. I have like 14 cards in my hand. That's still not enough. Oh, I have to retcon Akana at some point. Let's not forget that. But I could use that with my power if I want to. Let me see that. Not super useful. I can do that too. Could look for another round of, you know, things, but aren't enough powers really. So if I were to use, I can do that too on Legacy. Actually, that would be a little bit silly. That's a waste of a power. If I use, I can do that too on Argent Adept to let him play the Lyra, to have one hero use a power, which could be Legacy, to have Guise regain an HP, use a power, and then have someone else draw a card, blah blah blah. That would be a lot of out of turn actions, but I don't think there's much benefit from that. We do have 2 copies of I Can Do That too. Gritty Reboot would be good if Guise were predicted to be dealt a lot of damage, or many instances of damage, but currently there isn't that. So I think... So I have to retcon at some point. So I'm going to retcon right now. We're going to retcon Akana. Akana's gone. And now I can play a card or draw a card. I'm going to draw a card. We draw another Gritty Reboot. And now my power, draw a card or play a card, how to choose. I'm going to play Where Did I Leave That? So I draw a gimmicky character. Discard the top card of every deck. Guise regains HP equal to the number of target cards discarded. Keyword, target cards. Regain HP equal to the number of target cards discarded. A lot of people forget that word target. And then you may play a card. So with this setup, there are at most 2 decks that will have targets discarded, because none of the heroes have targets in their decks. And so Guise could only stand to regain 2 HP from this card. But we also get a total beefcake. The first time Guise would be dealt damage each turn, redirect that damage to the non-hero target with the lowest HP. That is a cool card. But no, I didn't get what I was looking for. So I'm going to discard those. And then I'm going to put the best card ever back in my hand. And then I can deal 1 damage. I'll do that to Gloomweaver. And we get another I can do that too. Now I'm more inclined to use that. Spike Trap, we're gonna hit the Chosen Disciple. Chosen Disciple is gone. And there's no zombies in the trash. If we had hit the Zombie Servant instead, then the Chosen Disciple would put it back into play anyway, and then Gloomweaver and the Pouch of Bones would both regain 3 HP, which would be silly. Judgment of Anubis. When this card enters play, search the environment trash and deck for Anubis. Put him into play. If you search the environment deck, shuffle it. At the end of the environment turn, Anubis deals each target 2 infernal damage and destroys this card. So this is going to wipe the Zombie Servants for us. And hit everyone. So Argent Adept is no longer going to be at max HP. But that's fine. So Anubis comes out. Anubis, 20 HP, Lord of the Underworld. Anubis is immune to damage from environment cards. The first time a non-environment card is destroyed each turn, this card deals the non-environment target with the second highest HP 2 infernal damage. Unfortunately, that is going to be Legacy, no matter how we order that first instance of damage. So Judgment of Anubis is going to deal 2 damage across the board. It will destroy a Zombie Servant, which in particular is a non-environment card, so Anubis is going to deal another instance of damage, a 2 infernal damage to the non-environment target with the second highest. So that is going to be Legacy because he's high, and... high as a kite. And has damage reduction, so there's no way he could really take a lot of damage, but that's fine. So we want to keep the Spike Trap, I think. We do have to be slightly careful because now the Zombie Servants will all be gone, but it'll be pretty easy to make sure the Pouch of Bones is lower than a hero by the time we get to the environment turn. So we're going to keep the Spike Trap. And now 2 damage across the board. Order doesn't matter. So 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage. Ah, right. Pouch of Bones reduces damage. So none of them were destroyed, so Anubis isn't going to act twice, or deal damage. Huh, alright. Cool. Cursed Acolyte. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals each hero target 1 fire damage and 1 infernal damage. This is a pretty bad card when you have more than 3 heroes. When you have 3 heroes, it's just 1 and 1, which isn't that much. If you have a team of 5... this is 3 and 3, because those numbers, which are asterisked, mean that those numbers are actually based on the number of heroes in play. Number of heroes is always abbreviated to H if you actually see the card physically. And with a team of 5, H is 5. In this case, the damages are H minus 2, so H minus 2, 5 minus 2 is 3. So 3 fire damage and 3 infernal damage is a lot of damage. But with 3 heroes, this card isn't super bad. But again, the zombies are all trying to hit Legacy, and the Cursed Acolyte is going to go off, and it's actually going to do 0 damage to Legacy because of the Fortitude again. So that's actually really good. See, that's why the Fortitude play early on. Like, I've profited a lot of damage, or a lot of HP. Legacy's still close to max. His max is 30. Still 3 off from max, whereas Guise is 8 off from max. Alright, so Spike Trap is currently going after a zombie servant. It will only go after the cursed acolyte if we can reduce it to 1. So we do want to do that. Now, the card that I'm probably going to play, we already have a Counterpoint Bulwark in play. Rhapsody of Vigor would be another song I would play for more for setup. Akpunku's Drum would be another sort of setup, but it won't really be more beneficial. Vernal Sonata I could use to try to get cards back, although we don't really, like, now that the best card ever is back in my deck, I don't need, or back in my hand, I don't need to worry about searching for it. So I'm going to play the Instrumental Conjuration. This lets me search my deck or trash for an instrument card. Well, there are no cards in my trash, so I shall search my deck. There are 4 instruments, and the instruments that I'm looking for is Musar Agni's Harp. This activates the perform text of a harmony card and the accompany text of a harmony card. So we're going to put that into play. And the Instrumental Conjuration lets me draw another card, which is Arcane Cadence. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Put 1 of them in your hand, one on the top of your deck, 1 on the bottom of your deck, 1 in your trash, and play 1. So, good for cycling through Argent Adept's deck more, but we're not going to play that just yet. Now, with Musar Agni's Harp, there's a lot of things that can happen now. I am most likely to want to have Guise use a power, and between Argent Adepts and Guise, I would prefer Guise to regain an HP. So here's the order of things here. Teleman's Lyra, activate the Perform of Harmony, so we'll activate the Perform of the Inspiring Supertonic, so 1 player may use a power now. That player shall be Argent Adept. He uses Musar Agni's Harp. We shall activate the Perform text of harmonies, such as, I don't know, Inspiring Supertonic. 1 player may use a power now. That player shall be Legacy. Legacy can use a power. He shall use Gung Ho, so 1 hero regains 1 HP, like Guise. Guise regains an HP. You can now use a power. Guise uses tough choices. Draw a card or play a card. How to choose? And with Best Card Ever, although I do want to chain Best Card Ever with Guise the Barbarian, so I probably don't actually want to play it. This does let him draw 2 cards, but it also deals 1 target 2 melee damage, which would be 4 if Guise the Barbarian is in play, so I'm more inclined to keep the Best Card Ever. Guise is not expected to be dealt damage before his turn, so that's not... So using Gritty Reboot isn't super useful. I can do that too. We already used a lot of powers this turn. Actually, never mind. I could use I can do that too. And I could do another round of Teleman's Lyra and Musar Agni's Harp. Actually, no, I can't. Well, no, never mind. I can do. Sorry, I'm getting this wrong. I can do that too. Only affects base powers. So I could use Argent Adept's base power to activate a Perform text, or Legacy's base power. Although those, even though it's already been used, it doesn't count as Guise using it. So you could have 1 hero gain 1 HP and use a power. That doesn't seem super useful. Let me see that. There is an instrument I want to steal still. Seichi's deals damage and lets me play a card, selling out super ultra quiet. And oh yeah, and that guy will get destroyed. So I'm gonna draw a card. Okay, no, let me see that. Let's see. So I need to deal 5 damage to the Cursed Acolyte. So with Thok, I can do that. And then Argent Adept regains 2 HP. That's the Accompany of the Harmony from Musar Agni's Harp. Now the Accompany of a Rhythm from Teleman's Lyra. 1 player may draw a card. So, yeah, I really want to get Blatant Reference. So, Guise, draw a card. He draws another. Oh, yeah, I'm that guy. And now we're on Argent Adept's draw phase. So, Argent Adept is quite the complex hero. If you get confused in an Argent Adept turn, don't worry, because he is having a lot of things happen out of turn. Because we got like 3 power uses and 1 card draw out of turn. But we're now in Argent Adept's draw phase, and he draws a Zoo's Bell. Activate the perform text of a rhythm card, and the accompany text of either a rhythm card or an accompany card. Or an accompany card. A harmony card. Zoo's Bell is the only instance of an instrument saying activate the perform text of a rhythm card. The only other way of doing that is via Argent Adept's power. Alright, Legacy. So yeah, we shall Thok. We'll hit the Cursed Acolyte for 3. And Legacy draws the Legacy Ring. You may use an additional power during your power phase. Very nice. One hero regains 1 HP and may use a power now. That hero should be Argent Adept. He's going to use Mustaragni's Harp, which lets him use the Perform of Inspiring Supertonic to have a hero use a power like Argent Adept, who uses Teleman's Lyra to activate the Perform text of Inspiring Supertonic, which lets one player use a power now, which shall be Guise. Guise gets to draw a card or play a card. Same sort of situation as before, so we're going to draw a card. Another best card ever. And then we'll deal 1 damage to the Cursed Acolyte. Now the Cursed Acolyte's tied for the lowest. And one player may draw a card. This is the accompany of the rhythm. Sorry. So guys can draw a card like Extreme. It's hard to tell if I'm the most awesome or the most extreme. Probably both. Damage dealt by Guise is irreducible and cannot be redirected. At the start of your turn, destroy this card. And then the accompany of Harmony, Argent Adept regains 2 HP, so now he's maxed. And now we're on Legacy's draw phase, which is a back fist strike. So that was another round of Argent Adept shenanigans, and that only happens because Grandpa Legacy's base power lets a hero use a power, so each round we're going to have 2 instances of Argent Adept shenanigans, maybe even 3 if we use I Can Do That Too. And frankly, I do want to do that. I think. Outside of using best card ever to try to get the 2 cards, there are 2 blatant references in the bottom 16 cards of Guise's deck, and I want to get them. Because I'm pretty well set up. I have both Super Ultra Kawais. I think he only has 2 of those, doesn't he? Yeah, he has both of those. And he has a Guise the Barbarian. So if I can chain those 3 cards together, we can get a lot of damage dealing going on. Alternatively, I could use that Guise the Barbarian and then selling out, and then I could have a lot of things happen. Actually, that might be a bit better. That will cycle through my deck a lot faster. And we've already gotten the Cursed Acolyte down to 1, so I'm not worried about that. So, let's get Guise the Barbarian out. This increases damage dealt by Guise by 2. We shall use Tough Choices to play a card, which shall be Super Ultra Kawaii. And now I can deal 1 melee plus 2 to Gloomweaver. We draw the blatant reference! There it is! We did it! So, now we're at the end of turn. Now, what's happening is Super Ultra Kawaii is letting me play a card since I have more than 3 cards in my hand. So I have a few choices here. I have Selling Out, which at the end of the environment turn I could discard a card and play up to 3 cards that share a keyword with the discarded card. This lets me play one-shots outside of Guise's turn. Blatant Reference would act immediately, and I could discard a card to deal 1 target 1+2 projectile damage. But if I do this correctly, I could still get that into play in the environment turn. And yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna play Selling Out. So Argent Adept has a complicated turn, and Legacy created a complicated turn, and now Guise was jealous of the complicated turns. He's gonna make a complicated turn happen on the environment turn because he's Guise. We're selling out. Alright. Spike Trap is going after the target with the lowest, which shall be the Cursed Acolyte. Keeps the Zombie Servants in play, so a Zombie Servant isn't going to enter play. And it will stop the 1-in-1 damage going around. So which should happen first? It doesn't matter because there aren't any zombies in the trash. But then Anubis goes after Legacy, which is fine. Environment plays the Idol of Input. When a trial card is destroyed, one player may place this card in their play area. They gain the following power. Power, regain 2 HP. Okay. So I can destroy an instrument to destroy Spike Trap, which is a trial card, which will put the Idol of Input in a hero play area. But I don't think I want to do that, because regaining 2 HP is boring. Why regain 2 HP when I could just consistently have villain cards get destroyed on the environment turn? So no, we're not doing that. Now Guise is going to discard a card in order to play up to 3 cards that share a keyword with that card. So we have a lot of ongoings. I could discard an ongoing to play 3 ongoings, except why would I do that? I already have 3 ongoings in play, actually. And none of the other ongoings except for Blatant Reference are awesome, but I have a few one-shots. I could safely discard one-shot, and we have 3 instances of I can do that too. So I can discard and I can do that too. So I've discarded, I can do that too. I can now play up to 3 one-shots. First shall be best card ever. So first, we draw 2 cards. We get Where Did I Leave That? And an Extreme. I'm now dealing 1 target 2 melee damage, increased by 2 because of Guise the Barbarian. He regains an HP, and I can throw my hands in the air and yell woo to play a card. And guess what? I can play an ongoing card, because it just says play a card, so I can play an ongoing card. So the ongoing card I shall play is Blatant Reference. And now it's in play, after all. So now I have a second card to play. So I could play best card ever, and then I could play another ongoing. Gritty Reboot would let him draw a lot of cards, but we got a lot of cards already. Let me see that. Could copy, or rather steal, an instrument, but there's not really anything to gain from that. Although, I mean, like, so let me see that. Pictures Argent Adept with Telemon's Lyra in Guise's hand. And it's captioned, "That is a priceless artifact of great power. It's not for playing Freebird," says the Argent Adept, as he grimaces. But, you know, it doesn't really benefit anyone if Guise steals an instrument, because now Argent Adept can't use that instrument because it belongs to Guise instead. If I were to get out Zoo's Bell or Akpunku's Drum, you know, if I weren't planning on using those on Argent Adept's turn anyway, I could put those out and then Guise could steal it and use those powers on his turn. But no, those aren't out in play, and so I don't really want to do that. So where were we at? We were looking at ongoings to play. Super Ultra Kwai is already in play. It's limited, so I can't copy it. Oh yeah, I'm that guy. Copying songs is not super useful or exciting. Copying Fortitude isn't particularly exciting. Copying Next Evolution, Guise doesn't need to be immune to any damage, so I think that's out. And then Extreme makes damage dealt by Guise irreducible and cannot be redirected. Currently, the only instance of a damage that can't be redirected, which is damage redirection is powerful. Preventing damage redirection can be powerful. But no, of these ongoings, I don't really want to play them. But we have other cards to consider. I can do that too. Lets me use a power printed on an active hero character card in play. Say Cheese deals 1 damage, and then if the target is still in play as 5 or fewer, I could play a card. Where did I leave that? Draw 2 cards. If not, discard them 2 to put a card from my trash in my hand. This is what I'm going to do. This is my second of 3 plays. We're going to play Where Did I Leave That? This lets me draw 2 cards. 2 cards are, look what I found. Guise deals 1 target 3. Oh, I already mentioned this. And a Say Cheese. Did I get what I was looking for? Well, the reason I played that was, again, to get the best card ever back. It was put in my trash because it was fully resolved. But, you know, best card ever is great. It deals 2 melee damage, draws cards, regains HP, and then I could play a card. But, look what I found, deals 3 damage and increases the next damage dealt by Guise. And Say Cheese deals damage, and if that is chosen particularly well, I could play an additional card. But in particular, it deals damage. I feel like the combination of those two is a little bit better than best card ever, since I already have one in my hand. So I did get what I was looking for. Thank you. 3rd card to play. Best card ever. Because we've had 1 best card ever, but what about 2nd best card ever? Draw 2 more cards. Another Say Cheese. Another gimmicky character. We shall hit Gloomweaver for 2+2. Regain an HP. Throw my hands in the air. Play a card. What card shall we play? Gimmicky character is another way of playing cards, but I think I'm going to play I Can Do That Too. Because we've only had, you know, so much complexity on the end of the environment turn. Let's make it even worse. So we're going to have Argent Adept. Or we're going to copy Vocalize to activate a perform text. Because that is just awesome. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So I can activate the perform text, such as 1 player me is a power now. And that hero shall be Argent Adept, who uses Musaragni's harp. I think you see where this is going. 1 hero may use a power now, such as Argent Adept, who uses Teleman's Lyra. Who says 1 hero may use a power now, such as Legacy, who says 1 hero gains 1 HP and may use a power now, such as Guise. So draw a card or play a card. I think we have lots of cards. Lots of instances of damage dealing. So we shall play Look What I Found. Deal 1 target 3 melee, +2. Gloomweaver's still around, so we'll increase the next damage dealt by Guise by 1, such as this one. 1+1+2. Now the accompany. 1 player may draw a card. Such as Guise, who gets another Look What I Found. Now the unfortunate thing is that, you know, it's super exciting to use the harp and the lyra, but the harp isn't exciting because Argent Adept is already at max, but there's no other company right now. But whatevs. Oh, Guise regained the 2. Interesting. I think because of... Oh. Because it was... So Guise copied the perform, so he basically acted as the hero. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, Strength of the Grave. The card I was worried about has come out. Increased damage dealt by zombies by X, where X is the number of zombies in play. Reduced damage dealt to zombies by 1. So now these are all dealing 5. But that's okay. This game was too easy. We needed some difficulty. Do we still have a retcon? We do not have a retcon. 1 retcon is in the trash, and the other 2 are in the deck. But I could Vernal Sonata to get that on top of Guise's deck. He could draw it with his power, or draw it with Counterpoint Bulwark, and then we can get rid of Strength of the Grave. Alternatively, Legacy's not the highest right now, but we could make him immune to melee, and again, I don't have to worry about Strength of the Grave for the time being. I could also take a risk and play Arcane Cadence, and I can potentially get out the melody that will... the Saraband of Destruction that destroys one ongoing or environment destruction. But I think Vernal Sonata is safer. So Vernal Sonata, everyone regains 1 HP. And now... let's look in our trashes. We have an Instrumental Conjuration in our trash here. It's a great card, for sure. Yeah, I think with Arcane Cadence, I'm going to put that on top. Because the nice thing about Instrumental Conjuration is that you get to search your deck or trash for any instrument, and then you can put it into play immediately. But on top of that, you can then draw a card. So... it's better than just playing an instrument from hand, because you get to draw a card after having played it. So we'll put that on top of my deck. Thok or Flying Smash? Well, we're certainly going to have Legacy play the Legacy Ring. Honestly, I want to cycle through Legacy's deck a bit more, because I would like to get out an Inspiring Presence. You know, we've had Guise draw a lot of cards, but we probably could have focused on Legacy too, in order to try to get Inspiring Presence. So we're not gonna waste our time having Legacy draw cards. Or, well, I guess we could put a Thok on top, because that would cycle through his deck faster. Potentially. But no, I think we're just not gonna bother with that. And guys, I was gonna put a I was gonna put a Retcon on top, but again, 8 cards, 2 of them are Retcon, and he's gonna draw several cards because of certain things, so we're gonna put the best card ever on top of his deck. Alright, now we're gonna do this combo, alright? Perform. Use a power. Argent Adept. Perform. Or Lyra. Use a power. Legacy. Use a power to regain 1 HP. Guise. Draw a card or play a card. How to choose. Best card ever still on top of our deck. Now we do still have Super Ultra Kawaii, and we do have a Blatant Reference to deal with. I think I do want to try to take advantage of as many damage dealings as I can. So we shall play Look What I Found to do 5. Increase the next damage dealt by Guise by 1, which happens right now. So another set of 9 damage. One player draws a card now. Guise does need to draw a card to get best card ever. So we'll do that. There's the best card ever. And then Argent Adept regains 2 HP. And now another Instrumental Conjuration, which we knew was happening. Alright, I could play a card. Here we go. Best card ever. We're going to play that. So we draw 2 cards. Total Beefcake. Let me see that. Deal 1 target 2 melee. Regain an HP. Throw my hands in the air. Oh man, okay. So what we learned from I Can Do That Too is that it actually would consider the HP recovery on Guise. I think there's not really a benefit in doing that though. I don't expect Guise to take damage before his turn. Don't need him to copy texts. Discard top card of every deck, and then you can play a card. Yeah, I don't really want to play these. Actually, no, Say Cheese would deal damage, right? And I wanted to make sure I do as much damage as possible. So we'll do that. Deal 1 target, 1 cold. It's 3 cold. Gloomweaver still has more than 5, so that doesn't do anything. And, you know, as exciting as it is, I'm going to get rid of one of those Let Me See That's. to deal one target 1 projectile plus 2. Alright. Now, Legacy Ring. And now I will be using Next Evolution, so when hero regains 1 HP. So Argent Adept is going to provide for more instances of things. So now I do need to try to get guys to draw. Like, it's sort of ridiculous. We haven't drawn the second Recon. Activate Harp, Inspiring Super Tonic, Argent Adept, Lyra, Inspiring Super Tonic, Guise. 6 cards, 2 of them are retcons, so we're likely to get it. Tough choices, draw a card, gimmicky character. Hit Gloomweaver. One player may draw a card. Guys. Retcon, there we go. And then regain 2 HP, which maxes you out. And now, Legacy is immune to a damage type of your choice until the start of your next turn. Unfortunately, he's not the highest anymore. So, that's not so exciting. So Anubis isn't going to go after him right away, and the zombies aren't going to go after him right away. So what's the most likely source of damage outside of those? And Anubis generally does Infernal. Magi does melee. Namti does melee. Shemai's does Infernal. When does he do that? Second lowest. Okay, that's not likely to hit Legacy. Swinging Blades is melee. Challenge of Fire is fire. And then the zombies do melee. The Chosen Disciple is melee. Cursed Acolyte isn't going to hit Legacy anyway. The Relics do Infernal. Voodoo Pins do Psychic. Vidya does Poison. I guess melee is the most likely, so we'll just make Legacy immune to melee. And we draw the Inspiring Presence. Alright. Okay, play a card and then discard a card to deal damage. So yeah, we're gonna be losing Guise the Barbarian, which is fine. So say cheese to hit Gloomweaver while we still have Guise the Barbarian. And then we'll discard. We have 3 copies of Oh Yeah, I'm That Guy, so we'll lose one of them to hit Gloomweaver for 3. So Guise has reduced Gloomweaver by half of his health, which is nice. And now all these cards are gone. So we're back to square one. So we have to retcon at some point, so we'll do it now to get rid of Strength of the Grave. Strength of the Grave is gone. I could play a card or draw a card. We have 4 cards left. 1 Blatant Reference, 1 Guise the Barbarian, 1 Selling Out, and 1 Retcon. All super useful. We want to get them. But if I play, I can do that too. I can do the same thing as I did last time. No, I want to save that. I can do that too for when I have Guise the Barbarian, because that proved to be super useful. Or not Guise the Barbarian, but rather Selling Out, because then I could have Guise use his base power out of turn, because he's already using his base power on all of the hero turns, so why not also the environment turn? Yeah, we'll save it for that. So we'll draw a card such as Selling Out. There it is. And then we shall draw a card such as Retcon, and then we'll hit Gloomweaver. And we draw Guise the Barbarian. Alright, 1 card left in your deck, guys! Spike Trap takes out a zombie servant. Anubis reacts and hits Guise. Environment plays Namti. At the end of the environment turn, this card deals the non-environment target with the second highest HP 4 melee damage. That is Argent Adept. Still happy with Spike Trap. And here we are. Gloomweaver plays Sablepin. When this card enters play, place it next to the hero with the most cards in play. At the end of that hero's turn, that hero's player destroys one of their cards, or Gloomweaver deals that hero 3 psychic damage. I believe that is Argent Adept. Which is fine. He has a lot of HP recovery, and it's acting like a lot. Which target is considered to have the highest HP? Anubis, of course. But then the next zombie hits Guise anyway. Oh well. Alright. I would like to get Inspiring Presence out before Legacy's turn, and I can do that if we can get Legacy to play a card. Actually, that might not be beneficial. But I think I'm going to Arcane Cadence. So I will. Arcane Cadence. Reveal top 5 cards of my deck. We have an Inspiring Supertonic, an Arcane Cadence, an Instrumental Conjuration, Iodisar's Horn, and an Inventive Preparation. Guess what? Inventive Preparation provides an accompany of one player other than me may play 1 card now. That's nice. So we probably want to put the Inventive Preparation out, and then instead of having Guise draw a card, he has so many cards. I could have Legacy play a card, or Guise play a card, although we'll wait until we have the combo back out, which is going to happen. The 1 card in his deck is Blatant Reference, so we can do another selling out Super Ultra Kawaii, Guise the Barbarian, selling out, or not selling out, Blatant Reference combo happen, and we'll win the game that turn. Or that incoming round. So, let's see. Put in my hand. We already have Inspiring Supertonic. And Iodisar's Horn we would rather have probably in the trash. Because I would rather play an Instrumental Conjuration to play it, so I could draw another card. So Instrumental Conjuration is better than Iodisar's Horn. Arcane Cadence. Good, but not necessary. So we definitely want to play Inventive Preparation. And we already have an Inspiring Supertonic, so we should probably put Inspiring Supertonic on the bottom of Argent Adept's deck, because that is less accessible than Argent Adept's trash for the moment. So Inspiring Supertonic on the bottom of the deck, Preparation in play, Iodisar's Horn in the trash, Instrumental Conjuration, and Arcane Cadence in my hand or on top of the deck in some order. So let's put Arcane Cadence in my hand, Instrumental Conjuration on the top, Inspiring Supertonic on the bottom, Iodisar's Horn in the trash, and we'll play Inventive Preparation. So now Lyra, here we go again, boys and girls. I don't discriminate. I don't know why I said boys, guys, folks. Here we go again, folks. 1 player may use a power. There we go. Folks is better. Like Argent Adept. Like use the harp to have someone use a power, such as Legacy. To have a hero regain 1 HP and use a power, such as Guise. To draw a card or play a card. So if I draw the thing, then I'll have it. Is there a thing I would rather play before that? No. We will draw the last card in my deck. We will hit Gloomy. We will have Argent Adept regain 2 HP. We will have a player other than Argent Adept play cards such as Legacy to play Inspiring Presence. So each hero target regains 1 HP. Increased damage dealt by hero targets by 1. We draw the Instrumental Conjuration. Destroy a card or be dealt 3 Psychic. I actually want Argent Adept to be dealt damage so that he's less than Legacy, so no. Alright, legs. Back Fist Strike, because with Inspiring Presence that damage is increased by 1. And now here we go again. Hero regains 1, such as Argent Adept, who uses the Lyra, who uses a power, who has Argent Adept use a power, who uses the harp, which has a hero use a power, who is Guise. I don't have the damage dealing cards anymore. I have 1 left. So I'm gonna draw. This will shuffle my trash into my deck, and then I draw. Oh, where did I leave that? Deal 1 damage. No, 2 damage because of Inspiring Presence, that's right. And then Argent that gains 2 HP, so he just regained the HP he just took from the Sable Pin. And then one hero could play a card or draw a card. So I could have Inventive Preparation go off again! Oh yeah, and now that Inspiring Presence is in play, I do want to play, oh yeah, that guy. We're gonna have to figure out how to work that in. But I think I want to have Guise draw a card to try to get damage dealers back, like best card ever. So Guise, I can do that too. Alright, close enough. And you can be immune to melee again. And we draw another legacy ring. Alright, 20 cards in your hand, guys, and 20 cards in your deck. Half your deck is in your hand. Here we go! Guise the Barbarian. Let's see. Draw a card or play card. We're going to play Super Ultra Kawaii. It Gloomy. We will draw. Where did I leave that? Play card. Do I have enough things that will act? Yes, I should. We will sell out. Hold on to your butts. Another zombie servant is destroyed. So, doesn't matter here, but Argent Adept is now more likely to regain HP. Cast into the Underworld. Increase damage dealt by environment targets by 1 at the start of the environment turn. If there are 3 or more environment cards in play, destroy this card. So, it's going to increase Namti's damage in particular, and Anubis. Whatever. But it will hit the Pouch of Bones, which is excellent. Not that I particularly care about that, but that's better than hitting Legacy. It was actually immune to melee, so that actually doesn't matter, but might as well do damage to a villain target. Discard a card to play up to 3 cards that share that keyword. And we have 2 copies of Where Did I Leave That? Okay. Here we go. What am I going to discard? So I want to keep Gimmicky Character because then I could play Ongoings. Say Cheese is a damage dealer. I want to keep that. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to play both Where Did I Leave That? So I'll discard the Where Did I Leave That to play the first card. So here we go. I want to get out the... what is it? Blatant Reference. So to get out the Blatant Reference, I have to play a one-shot that lets me play a card. So, for instance, I can do that too. Would do that. But no, we're going to start with Gimmicky Character, because here's why. Discard the top card of every deck. So here we go. Discard the top card of every deck. Magi is a target, so Guise regained 1 HP. Now the other cards that were discarded, not that they matter, we lost the vast following. That's excellent. This is a terrible card. Shuffle the villain trash and reveal the top 3 cards. Put any revealed cultists and relics into play. Put the other revealed cards back in the trash. And then, after all that has been said and done, play the top card of the villain deck. So both of the cultists would come back into play because... Oh, sorry. Reveal the top 3 cards. So there are 5 other cards in the trash. That would have been revealed, and so 3 of them would have been revealed, so there would be a good chance that at least 1 cultist would enter play. But it got discarded. But beyond that, it also plays top card of the villain deck, so excellent. We also lost Magi. Reduced damage dealt to environment targets by 1. At the end of the environment turn, this card deals each non-environment target 1 melee damage. Okay. I don't think that's going to matter. Argent Adept lost the Sadistic Dissonant. I'm not going to read that. We lost an Inspiring Presence. We already have 1 in play. And we lost the best card ever. Well, it's in my trash now. That's good, at least. But now, with Gimmicky Character, I could play any ongoing card. I said I wanted to play Blatant Reference. I lied. I want to play Oh Yeah, I'm That Guy. So, I'm going to give Legacy a high 5. So now... my card copies the text of all ongoing cards, which includes Inspiring Presence, which says when this card enters play, each hero target regains 1 HP, and the card is still in the act of entering play, so we do regain 1 HP. But furthermore, the more important thing, we also copied increased damage dealt by hero targets by 1, so now Guise has damage dealt +4. Oh my god. Alright, I can do that too, I think. So Guise uses a power printed on an active hero character card in play, such as Argent Adept. So if you missed the vocalize last time, here it goes again. So what shall we do? We shall Inspiring Super Tonic. Have Argent Adept use a power such as the Lyra. To have a player use a power such as Argent Adept, who will use the harp. Who will have a hero use a power such as Legacy, who will have a hero regain 1 HP and use a power such as Guise. Who will... Ooh, see? This copied the ongoing text of Legacy's next evolution, so Guise can be immune to a damage type of his choice until the start of his next turn. We're not going to do that. We're going to Tough Choices to draw a card or play a card. So now we're going to play a card. What are we going to play, guys? We're going to play... Where did I leave that? To draw 2 cards. A Say Cheese, another blatant reference. I did not get what I was looking for. Oh, I did. Oops. Ah, messed that up! It's not worth resetting. I didn't get what I was looking for. I wanted to get the best card ever in my hand, but it's too late for that. That's fine. No worries. But then I can deal 1 target, 1 melee. Yeah, I slightly messed that one up. So regain 2 HP, which affects Guise for some reason. But I can still get another card play from this, so... Unfortunately, I discarded the other... Where did I leave that? So that's a little annoying. But I can still get Blatant Reference out. Or Legacy doesn't have a damage dealer. Yeah, we're gonna have Guise play Blatant Reference. Alright. Third card! Okay. I don't know that we have been ongoing we'd like to play. I guess Total Beef Kick? Nah, I don't think that's worth it. Damage irreducibility isn't going to affect anything. Yeah, I'm going to say cheese. There isn't an environment card I want to destroy right now. Yeah. If I had best card ever, we probably would have won. Potentially. That would have been 2... Yeah, it would have been 6 more damage. So Gloomweaver would be down to 1, but I would have been able to play an additional card, which would have been a damage dealer. So we probably would have won at this point if I hadn't clicked too fast. I was getting too excited. It was my fault. It's fine. Like, he played Sable Pin. This is going on our choice of Argent Adept or Guise. We already have one on Argent Adept, so I'll put this one on Guise. But it doesn't matter. We're going to win before that. Alright. So, let's see. I think I'm going to Arcane Cadence. So we get Scherzo of Frost and Flame, Saraband of Destruction, 2 Syncopated Onslaughts, and an Alacritus of Dominant. I want to put the Alacritus in play. I think. Syncopated Onslaught, in order to be able to activate, I would have to use Argent Adept's Perform, or Vocalize. Which would mean that I wouldn't be able to have Guise use a power. I mean, it doesn't fully matter, I guess, so... Let's get the ongoing environment destruction in hand, and we'll put the syncopated onslaught on top, because I do want that. We'll put the other one on the bottom, because I'll put the Scherzo into trash, so I could get it back more easily if this game were to continue, and then we'll do shenanigans for the last time. This game is over. So we'll just do this. I was just chastising myself for clicking too fast, but let's not make this too long. So we already know we're going to play a card at the end of your turn. Do you have more than one damage dealing card? The answer is no. So say cheese, there's the other damage dealer. We'll hit Gumi. Actually, I could have played the damage dealer and then we'd win. So we'll do that. I could have done it with Guise's power and we'd won even faster, but it doesn't matter because we're done. Here we go. Deal one target damage, that takes you out. There you go. So I would have won that a little bit faster if I hadn't gotten too excited and clicked the wrong thing, but it's still a mint. So as I said, Gloomweaver is not really a hard villain, but the combination of Argent Adept and Grandpa Legacy is generally one of the most powerful combinations because Argent Adept by himself can have a lot of things happen within his turn, but if you have Grandpa Legacy in play with Argent Adept, you get to have basically 2 Argent Adept turns. Granted, you do need to have an Argent Adept that's both set up but also capable of getting set up. So like, you could have all of the cards you would want to have in play at the bottom of his deck, and so you wouldn't really have a good setup Argent Adept, but once you have all the right instruments and songs, then you have a lot of shenanigans happen. Of course, the true star of this, of course, was Guise. I mean, let's face it, Guise is totally the only hero in this game. I mean, what other hero sold out twice? No one. What other hero was a barbarian twice? That's right, no one. What other hero is capable of blatant references with such style? No other hero. Only Guise. And what other hero is totally any other hero he wants to be? That's right, Guise. In fact, if this team were composed of Guise, and Guise, it'd be an even better team. Either that's true or my name is not Guise. Alright. Well, this was an hour-and-a-half video, so it's on my longer end, but hopefully it was entertaining and useful and instructive. If not, holler at me. But in any case, good night.